Good afternoon and welcome to the Bull Markets Talk Show. This is your host, Rian Hobson, and I'm back. I'm sorry for being gone for so long, but I'm officially back. I've just been busy with quite a lot of things, but a lot have changed in the market, especially the story between Russia and Ukraine that is basically on the border. Then you have skyrocketing oil prices, the Bank of England that's lifting up interest rates, South Africa, also the US that's about to lift interest rates, and also the EU that is actually, or the central bank or the European Central Bank that is downplaying the whole interest rate story and say also they will put it up later this year. But the big story is actually to do with Russia and Ukraine, and as what a lot of people are basically saying, that there's about 100,000 people that is on the border, 100,000 soldiers that is basically on the border of Russia and Ukraine, and the heat is basically on. Look, honestly speaking, in my opinion, for me, Vladimir Putin is right here, and I will explain actually why I basically say that. But what is based on the market, if anything happens, and look, it is really tense. Although mainstream media is literally downplaying the story, it is really tense. You just actually saw now that the Prime Minister of France is actually went to Emmanuel Macron actually went to Russia to basically talk and not to actually to get to the invasion. America is basically downplaying Putin's demands. And that is actually the same story that happened in 2014. I mean, Barack Obama also downplayed actually the whole story of Ukraine. And then what happened? Actually, Putin actually invaded Crimea, and now Crimea is basically under Russia's control. Now, what is this for the market to do? Look, oil prices is definitely going to jump up because about 5 million barrels of oil per day goes into Europe from actually Russia. On top of that, a lot of these countries are also depending on gas from Russia. Gold prices, although gold is a bit very disappointing, and I thought with all the tensions that is around, you would see gold prices actually now at least at 1900, but nothing of the sort is basically happening with all the tensions that is there. It just shows you actually maybe the media is just downplaying everything, but you must be on the lookout for gold. I will not say sell gold or be on the wrong side of gold, because if one bomb flies out, believe me, everybody's going to run to the safe havens. And one safe haven also that is actually been soft is your Swiss franc, your Japanese yen. I'm not so sure about the US dollar, but I will definitely go for the Swiss franc, and I will go for the Japanese yen if the bomb starts to fly, which is now on the border of Ukraine and Russia. But just to throw my 2 cents in with the whole story of Russia and Ukraine, look, I don't like this whole story where the EU is basically also, or the Ukraine is going to be part of NATO or the EU. Look, we had this story before with the Soviet Union. Now today, it's just the European Union. The same rubbish. Look, it's like geometry. Once you can prove that something is a bloody square, then it's a bloody square. Don't come tell me it is not communism. It is. Because back in the day, it was a Soviet Union and communism. Today, it is the European Union with just a new form of communism, which it is communism. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it is communism. Like, for example, with the square that I just explained to you now. If the thing is a bloody square, all sides are equal, and there's 90 degrees on the corners, and then it's a bloody square. If you prove it is a square, then you get the marks. The same thing with the European Union. If you look at what I actually want to show you, this is actually the old chart of the Soviet Union. And then you have Belarus, you have Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and all of those countries. Those countries were actually Lithuania. That was the old Soviet Union bloc. That was back in the day. It actually stretched until Germany, where you have East and West Germany. Now today, look at this. The blue is basically an indication of the European Union. Obviously now, today, the UK is out because you can't get bloody controlled from Brussels. Nobody even know who the bloody leaders is of the European Union. You get all your orders from a central point, which is in Brussels in Germany, and then you just have to comply with it. I mean, what about your nationality? It's the bloody same thing that is actually basically happening. And that's why Vladimir Putin is putting on the brakes. They brought down the Berlin Wall, which actually were the one who divided everything. Now again, they're doing it all over again under the European Union or the EU. I actually totally agree with Vladimir Putin that he needs actually to have a pushback, because they can't just bloody come and put their armed forces in Ukraine. And what must bloody Vladimir Putin do on his border? I agree there. They all agreed back in the day to stop all this communism. Every country be on its own. Ukraine, Lithuania, Belarus, all of them be on their own as their own country. Now you go back again with a new story with the European Union. It's the same thing. You get your orders back in the day from Moscow. Now you're getting your orders from Brussels. That's why the United Kingdom actually went out. And I think that is actually the story with with Russia. And the whole thing is they're pushing actually Russia back into the hands of China. Once China and Russia combine forces, it will be ugly. That then NATO and the US is playing with bloody fire. If the Chinese is actually going also on with the Chinese is actually now on the side of Russia, and then you have a bloody story. So the best thing for me when it comes to trading, I would say you must not put your mind off this whole story of Ukraine. Well, I don't watch TV, and as a lot of people say, the media is just downplaying the whole story of Ukraine. Honestly, I would take that very seriously, because they are not paying attention to Russia's demands that they must not take over actually Ukraine. And believe me, once that happens, then you have a war, and then your safe havens need to jump up, which will be definitely your Swiss franc, your Japanese yen, oil, gas prices, gold will definitely go up. And it looks like it's going to happen anytime. Russia is serious. And I think but the whole thing is what a lot of people say, what is in for Russia to invade Ukraine? I think it's more to do of respect. You can't just bloody go there and take over Ukraine. Although it's not part of Russia, I fully understand it, but it's the neighbor of Russia. You will literally sit with the whole entire Europe. That is the European Union. That is actually showing no respect whatsoever for Vladimir Putin and also for the Russian people. And then all of a sudden, you will have something happening in Russia when they're on the border, and then the EU wants to take over Russia as well. I think Vladimir Putin has the right to defend himself, and I think what will happen also afterwards is the whole story also with China that gets involved, and then all hell can start to break loose. Well, for today, the oil price are basically down. That is now to do with Biden, that literally now signs agreements or actually have talks now with the devil himself, and that is Iran. Because the oil prices are going up, and he needs actually to push the oil price a bit down. So I think he's going to actually sign all sorts of agreement with Iran and lift off the sanctions so that Iran can push the oil price. For me, that will be temporary for the oil price to go down. I think there's more potential for oil to go up, especially with your tensions in Ukraine. And I have a Facebook post also that I post up, I think on Friday or Thursday, where the US producers are not coming upstream as quickly as what we have thought, because of all the green nonsense that is currently go on. So a high oil price will be there, and it will be persistent. Also, if you look at the gas prices, because it's actually cold also in the Western hemisphere, it's actually heavy cold there. So the gas, oil prices, gold prices for me has a lot of potential to go up. It's just for today, with the oil prices are going down, or basically all commodities are going down, and that is all to do with the talks, or the sweet talks, as they say, with Iran and the United States. But that for me is actually all desperation because of oil prices that actually goes up. Just to answer the question, do you offer your classes remotely? Yes, I actually do my classes remotely. Please, there's actually a heavy demand actually for my classes. Please, you can actually contact me via email, or you can just go to my website, or you can text me on LinkedIn, and then you can just actually inquire for my classes. There's actually a heavy demand for my classes, and this all to do with this all uncertainties, and also to know about what is your safe havens and where to run when this whole mess come out. Believe me, there will be a lot of money to make if actually the bombs start to fly. Look, I didn't create the war. I'm just here for the market and to make money. That is it. So that is it from my side. I will be back tomorrow at the same time. So you guys must have a lovely Tuesday, and then I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Bye-bye.